Oh, you scared me again. Okay, this better work. I think the audio gets DM'd to me.
For real?
Recording channel. I will record up to 6 hours. Recordings are deleted, but automatically after 7 days from the start of the recording. Okay, well, welcome.
Welcome. Hi. Yeah. Craig, he's our software system provided by the lovely Gigi.
Yeah, he is now our bitch.
He's our bitch, yeah.
Yes.
We're recording this just because we've always said that we wanted to do a podcast, and now we're doing one.
We just found Craig, thanks to Gigi, and now Craig the Bear is recording on every move. Thank you, Craig.
So I can't say the M word, okay, dude?
I mean, you can, but...
I mean, it's only going to be in the server, but it's probably...
You might get cancelled.
I might piss a couple people. That's a topic.
That's a topic. Hey, segue.
So... Jesus. So,
good to tie.
Yes, very. As always, that's a topic too. Medical marijuana and marijuana.
You don't use it for medical reasons, so do you?
No, I don't. I use it recreationally.
That's fair, though.
That is fair.
I can't get mad at you for that. People who are against it need to grow up a little bit.
I mean,
it ain't your choice, fool.
It's just a plant. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah.
How I look at it.
What pisses me off is when people are like, oh, I hate weed, drugs are bad, but then they smoke tobacco. And it's like,
exactly.
Tobacco's worse for you.
Well, I mean, like, there's, like, so many things that can be considered a fucking drug. You know? Like,
caffeine.
Yeah, like caffeine, fucking, like,
sugar.
Shit that's in, like, yes, people, like, certain people can be, like, drugs for people. People can get addicted.
That is actually true, by the way. I can't remember where I saw it, but you can actually get addicted to certain people.
Oh, yeah, because, like, certain people, like, as sappy as that shit sounds, like, you can get, like, addicted to the way people make you feel and the way when people are around you and stuff like that.
The way you make me feel. I actually didn't know that was a thing, though. I thought that was just being like, oh, I'm addicted. No, that's actually a real
thing. But, yeah, but, like, so many things can be considered a fucking drug. And if, like, there's, like, some shit that I hate, like, fucking opioids and shit like that. I think opioids need to be fucking gone away with. If you don't know what opioids are,
how do you even do opium? Is it you smoke it, right? It's like crack.
Well, no, it's pain pills.
Oh, they're pills. I thought you would.
Oh, it starts off as pills and then it goes to heroin. And heroin, like, because you lose the prescription for the pills and stuff like that, and eventually it becomes expensive as fuck to buy on the streets, the opioids or the painkillers. So you just go to heroin because it has similar effects, and then you end up fucking killing yourself. By fucking shooting too much of that shit. Yeah.
I didn't realize you, like, it was a pill. I thought opium was also like a type of plant, and you could smoke it or inject it.
I forgot what kind of. You're right. It is like a plant. It's a flower. It's like. I forgot what the name is.
I might have to Google opium right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google opium.
It's like look up opium plant.
Opium plant. Oh yeah, it's like a little bulb.
Yeah, it's like a flower, and then that's where the fucking chemical comes from, and of course every other thing that you use to make a fucking pill. But it's like almost like a Tylenol or an ibuprofen, like almost like one of those.
Did it stem from America? Because I know there's a huge company for it in America.
Yeah, well,
do you know who Mike Malek is? He's Logan Paul's friend.
Yeah.
He came out with like a whole book about how he was addicted to opium and heroin, and his life got like ruined by it.
Oh yeah, well that's just like a very like real thing, because obviously you get into like a fucking car accident or something, you break your legs in 3 different places, and like they're like, oh,
give you opium.
Like, yeah, we're gonna give you opium, like completely, like however you want to use it, just like once your prescription's out, it's out. Like that's as much as you should be taking.
Holy
And
shit.
that works somewhat until they get addicted to the shit, and then they go, oh, I need more, and then they start buying it illegally. After they start buying it illegally, that shit becomes expensive quick, so they buy heroin, and that's the shit that gets you fucking killed. And you like,
lethal, bro.
oh yeah, like
one drug that's really intriguing and interesting is LSD to me, and I don't know why, but LSD, it's because it's a hallucinogen. It's like, you know the Misfits are, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they've done a lot of drugs. I think Swagger and Fitz attempted to do heroin, apparently. I think I saw it as a title for one of their podcasts.
Yeah.
But they did LSD, and their experience with it was wild. Like, their podcast on it was insane.
Well, like, shit like that. I mean, it's always, like, important to be, like, safe with drugs.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, hallucinogens, like, that's just stuff that it won't necessarily kill you. You know what I mean?
No, it's
like,
it's
the drug itself
harmful, but it's not that harmful.
Like, the drug itself won't kill you. The effects on it won't kill you. If you do some stupid shit while you're on LSD, like, that'll kill you. Like, but you can't, like, overdose that shit, especially if you're being responsible and you're.
Well, you can't overdose weed either, can you? It's like impossible.
No, I mean, of course, there's like obvious fucking. Like, I've never done it. I've been high as balls and I've slept for fucking 13 hours, but I've never.
I've slept for 13 hours.
Overdose.
No, I'm pretty sure well, it's obviously it's not impossible because I feel like you could overdose on anything if you did enough of it. But I think it's like people have tested it and it's like insanely hard to overdose on it because it's just not that strong.
I mean, that's just the way it is. You know,
by the way, we're playing Skywars in the background of this.
We are.
It's so stress.
Yeah, well, like I'm trying to like stay on topic at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I think like weed and LSD and shit like that. Like, I don't like cocaine. Like, I don't think cocaine.
Oh no, that's fucked.
But like cocaine, heroin, like, and obviously like depending on the pill and shit like that. Everything's good with moderation, except for heroin and cocaine and crack and shit like that, or meth. Don't do fucking meth.
Don't do meth.
Don't do meth. But like, if you're taking shit for like medical reasons, like fucking Xanax because of your headaches,
as long as you're not addicted to it, you're fine.
Oh yeah, and like shit like that. If we're talking like medical reasons, like fucking go for it. It's important to be safe. And like, I remember like it was actually the girl I'm dating right now, Sam. She had her appendix taken out, and she was put on fucking pain pills, and that was a little bit over a year ago, like right when I met her. And of course, I don't know what to fucking do. I'm fucking 14 years old, and then I get there, and then like half the fucking bottle's gone. And so I flushed that shit because that's how you get fucking addicted. You know, like, I know that's like not my place as her friend at the time, but like that's like a serious fucking. You can't be doing that shit. That shit will kill you.
If you get addicted to that, it's over. You lose your money, your life, your health, friends, family. It's insane.
Well, and it's so easy too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there like I'm sure you've heard stories of like people who were fucking who broke their fucking hand or their fucking foot to get more of that shit.
Oh, and yeah, it's actually kind of surprising how many people do that.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, that's just what addiction does. So.
Drugs can be good for so many things, but also so bad in so many ways, and it's kind of scary how there's no middle ground.
But you gotta do it with moderation and be careful. There is a middle
ground, but it's kind of hard to reach the middle ground if you're addicted to stuff.
Well, I tell a lot of people I tell a lot of people that are like first time smokers, like, don't fucking overdo it.
No,
Like,
if you're doing it for the first time, do it within moderation because.
And do it with somebody. Don't
don't do it on your own at all.
Oh yeah, like the first 10 times I ever smoked, I was with somebody.
Oh, I wasn't. I was. Don't make the same mistake I did. I was at a party drunk, and that is probably one of the worst situations.
Oh yeah, well, thank God it's just weed. Like,
I didn't know the guy I got it off either. He was a really sketchy guy who went to my school.
Oh yeah, well he could have like
spiked it. Killed
exactly. He could have like fucking put fucking cyanide in that shit. As stupid as that fucking sounds, he could have killed you.
Oh no, he literally could. He was like, it was insane. Like, I really shouldn't have done it at all.
No, you should not have. But like, everything with moderate. Just fucking be careful. Like, don't do edibles your first time.
I've done that. I had a wild night.
Edibles they're not a bad thing. I don't like them personally. I think they're for more like older people. You just got butt fucked.
Yeah, I did. I got egged. They're more fun, I think.
They are. I think that's how you have a better.
They're more dangerous.
They are. Because you don't know especially if you make them yourself. I had this one friend. He made them himself, and I was over there.
Not a good idea.
The way you have to, it's so like scientific and down to the T.
Yeah,
that
if you get it
like
wrong,
obviously if you get it like proportionally done and shit like that, like obviously every portion has like the same amount. But like when you got a bunch of fucking teenagers fucking fooling around with some weed and a brownie batter, like there's like a fucking 10th of what we have in the corner piece, and then the rest of it's in the fucking middle. You know what I mean? So if you get that corner piece, you're fucking fucked.
Yeah, you know? That is heavy.
Oh, fuck yeah. So be careful.
Don't do drugs, and if you are, just be careful.
Yeah, just
to put it at the end. How much do you actually smoke weed? Like on a weekly basis. How many days out of the week?
Maybe 3.
How much do you spend on it? Because it's like, well, obviously we have different currency, but over here, if people are buying like a bag of weed, it's like, oh, 10 a bag, because it's £10. But I don't know how much is in that, because
I mean, obviously it depends on, but usually you can get I mean, we have things called dab pens over here.
Yeah, we have those.
Which is what I use a lot. And then obviously there's like the actual pen, and then there's the cart. If you get the pen, you're good to go, you know. But a cart is like $20 a piece. And then, so it's not bad at all. Especially like if there's no ash, there's no fucking, I like to say it's safer, but I mean, it's still weed. And
yeah.
But yeah. So that's a plus. And plus, like, it lasts longer. You can, like, I could fucking pick it up right now and then just take 3 hits and put it down, and I'm high. You know what I mean?
Oh, damn. That
quick? Well, I mean, it's just like that shit's like so fucking heavy.
Jesus.
It depends on how you get it. Like, it depends on the amount of fucking THC is in there. Is it THC or CBD? I don't know the fucking mechanics.
THC is the CBD is the medical term for it.
That's the CBD oil. That's the stuff that like makes you tired.
Yeah, that's like that suits your muscles and stuff, doesn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, like, because I'll get my mom those. I'll get her fucking like CBD ones, because she has really bad back problems, and she'll fucking use it to go to sleep. So we do that, and like I smoke THC and carts, and obviously there's CBD in there too, and it just depends on how much THC is in there. But like I said, you know, like not having to deal with blunts and not having to worry about a lighter, like, and all you have to do is because that shit gets expensive quick, and it's hard. Yeah, it's not
easy at all. People are like, oh yeah, it's just rolling. No, it's hard.
Oh yeah, by the time you're finished, you don't even want to smoke anymore.
You're bored.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, fuck.
Don't, bro.
Damn it.
I don't think we talk about drugs this long, but drugs is an interesting topic.
Drugs are interesting. I mean, like I stated before, somebody's hitting me up.
It's your dealer, bro. He wants to offer you another dab pen.
Huh?
It's your what?
My phone wasn't at my desk. It was on my bed.
I feel like everyone. I think everyone has a unique tip. Stop taking dick.
I'm not taking dick pics.
I was just gonna say, I feel like everyone has a unique perspective on drugs. I don't feel like many people have the same viewpoint on it, because some people are like, oh, it's horrible, it's like should always stop. Some people are like, oh, go for it, like it's your life, do what you want. Some are okay, some aren't.
Well, I mean, like, I see. If it's not killing you or physically harming you or your family or financially draining you or basically just like harming you or fucking putting back your life in any way, I don't see the problem with it. Because, like, as much as I like fucking am considered a stoner, like, I'm not physically dependent on weed. Like, I could
fun.
Yeah, I just do it. Like, I could, and obviously some people are fucking different, but I don't get like fucking addicted easily. I don't know if that's just something in my brain, but I've always been like that. Like, I'm not super addicted to video games. Obviously, like, I can go like a month without turning on my computer. Or I'm not super addicted to my phone, or I'm not like super addicted to weed or fucking alcohol.
I'm not addicted to my phone. I could put my phone, like before in secondary school, sometimes I used to just put my phone down and leave it for like a weekend and not like speak to anyone over the weekends, just because I didn't feel the need to. But my issue is I can't not be watching something. I'm like, my brain's so ADHD, I can't like just focus on one thing. So if I'm playing a game, I have to have YouTube playing in like the background in front of me. And I'm not necessarily watching the video, but just having the voices of whoever I'm watching in the background is like enough. So I probably couldn't go without my iPad and YouTube, because my brain's like, you need something. It's like I don't fall asleep without watching something beforehand. Like I'll put Family Guy on and fall asleep watching that, or I'll put a podcast on and fall asleep listening to that, or I'll put like Best of Fits 2017. That's like 3 hours long, and I'll just go to sleep to it, even though I don't want to watch it because I've watched it 6 million times.
I listen to music a lot. I do get that. I listen to like a ass load of music.
I listen to music when I'm like biking to a friend's, or I'm with people at like a party or something, or I'm in the shower. I don't see how people can fall asleep listening to music.
I've never been that kind of guy. Like, I always have to pause it. I will say one thing that as over the past couple months, and this, you're gonna think I'm such a fucking pussy for this shit, but as like I've dated Sam and shit like that, obviously she doesn't stay here. I mean, sometimes she will, but like I can't fall asleep unless like I'm on like FaceTime with her, and I know that's like such fucking shut the fuck up, like, suck my dick, bitch.
That's
fuck you,
cute.
Fuck off. But like seriously, that's, or I can fall asleep, but like I'll wake up throughout the night. You know what I mean?
I mean,
like,
I don't understand this. Like, this is like normal stuff because I've heard it. Because Cameron, he's been with Abby for a year now, and before bed they always ring each other and they stay on the phone, and Abby falls asleep, and Cameron makes sure Abby's fell asleep before he puts the phone down. But I'm single, bro. I've been single for over a year. I can't relate to that.
Oh man, like, yeah. Well, I mean, you're not a bad looking guy, obviously.
Oh,
and you're oh yeah, anytime. And you're not a dick. You just,
to some people, I'm not a dick. I think other people would care to disagree.
I think, well, it's not really a problem, but it's like more of like your situation with that is like you don't need somebody. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like you don't require that satisfaction of having a relationship. Obviously, it's nice. You know, it's nice to have, but you don't require it.
Yeah, it's
like,
a benefit, but I don't need it necessarily.
There's like a lot of people who like require that like satisfaction. and you don't
need
need
the
that.
attention of another.
Well, you've always just been very independent. Like from when I've known you, which is what, like, year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah,
like
nearly 2 years now.
Yeah, getting up there.
Yeah, I think that's 2 years. 2 years in April, I think.
Fuck me.
I know, Jesus.
We're old.
We're getting there. I'm 18 next year, bro.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, like, you've just always been. You're independent.
Oh my god! Hold on. Sorry, I've unplugged my headphones. I thought my Discord had crashed. Give me a second.
As King plugs back in his headphones. Hold on. What kind? Do. King, you here? King. Folks at home, we're having some technical difficulties.
Hold on.
King's fucking retarded and does not know how to fucking plug in a pair of headphones.
Why isn't it working? Well, this is great, isn't
it? I don't know what to tell you folks at home if you're listening. Do better. Watch TikTok.
It doesn't add my headphones. Like, I don't know why it keeps doing this. It keeps like unplugging itself, and then like when I'm trying to plug the headphones back in, it doesn't actually register that I'm plugging them in.
He's just on that pussy shit, guys. Don't fucking listen to him. Obviously, he can't hear me.
I don't know why it keeps doing
funny
that.
as fuck.
You know what? Give me a second. I'll quickly join on my phone. It won't interrupt anything. Just a bit of a piss take, really. Give me a second. Interrupting the fucking podcast for this. How fucking dare I? Yeah.
It's fucking cunt. He's gonna listen to this. If you see that.
There we go. I'm back.
Hey, look at that.
Hey, what were we talking about? You call me independent.
Yeah. Well, back to it. Okay. But like, you are a very independent person, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were talking about with Gigi, obviously for anybody listening to the podcast, Gigi is the other admin and a close friend of ours. But yeah, like we were talking about yesterday, like as much as you like fucking like take a piss take on people and shit like that, I feel like you require friends more than you require like a relationship. You know?
Oh yeah, now my headphones start fucking working. Yeah, I 100% agree. If I don't have like friends around me, I feel so lonely. Like you don't need
that. Yeah, which is obviously like that's
like,
a good.
I would kind of like one, but like it's not like I'm actively searching like I need one. It's just like if one comes around, that's great. But until then, like, nah. It's like
I slowly learned that, like, I mean, people say like, and this is like Buddhists say this too and shit like that, but it's like you're the one in parentheses and shit like that. That like they give you butterflies or shit like that when you first meet them. But Buddhists say like if you really meet the one, you are calm and you're at peace and everything's okay in the world. Like you don't give a fuck about anything else, but like you're calm.
Yeah. I don't really know about Buddhists. We did a bit about them in school, but that's it. But
it's like a religious group.
Yeah, I know what they are, but like yeah, it's like I can it also takes a lot for me to be interested in a person. Like I was talking to my friend Mackenzie, and he was like, "You need a girlfriend." I was like, I don't need one, but like, I wouldn't mind one. He was like, "Do you want me to see if Katie's his girlfriend? Do you want me to see if any of Katie's like friends are single?" So I was like, "You can if you want." And one of them followed me on Instagram. So I was like, "Do you know this girl?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's a friend." So I was like, "Alright." So I added her back, and then she added me on Snapchat. I was like, oh, she's eager. So I added her back, and as soon as I added her back, it was like 10 minutes later, I think I put something on my story, and she swiped up and reacted to it. I was like, I kind of like this because it shows she has confidence and she's like interested, which confidence is a huge thing for me anyway.
Yeah.
Because I class myself to be a confident person myself, so I kind of like it in return type thing.
Yeah.
But she swiped up and we were talking, and after like a day, I was like, I feel bad, but I'm just not interested at all. Like it takes like I feel like I'm really picky and judgy with people, and it takes so much for me to be interested. It's kind of insane, and I feel bad for it, but at the same time, I cannot help it at all. And I try to like, because I kind of just wanted to like stop talking to her. She was a lovely girl and stuff, but I just couldn't with it.
Well,
So I
there's
kind of
like,
tried to like let her down, and I was kind
Mhm.
of just like giving a signs that like this isn't working. And then I felt awful because she messaged me like really interested and being like, "Hey, so I just wanted to know if we're like talking as if like relationship type talking, or we're just like friendly chatting." And I said, "I don't want to hurt you by saying this, but we are just friendly chatting." And she was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." And we haven't messaged since at all. She used to message me every morning, and now she hasn't messaged since. And I was like, "Oh,
she probably did really like you, but there's
I
like
know."
there's a word for that. Like, and I don't know if it's considered like part of the LGBTQ or whatever. And like, I'm not calling you gay or anything like that, so don't take
I
offense.
think I know what term you're thinking. Is it
It's like,
aromantic? Is that what you're thinking about?
I don't know if it's like aromantic or demisexual.
I'm gonna Google it actually. I want it because I'm intrigued because I think it might have been Gigi a while ago. I think Gigi jokingly said, "Oh, you're aromantic," and I was like, "What's that?" And she was like, "I'm kidding, but like it's this."
Demisexuality is a sexual orientation where people only experience sexual attraction to folks that have close emotional connections with. In other words, demisexual people only experience sexual attraction after an emotional form is bond.
Ooh, whoa!
What?
This is that kind of is kind of true. So is it just kind of like you're not like interested in a person
Until
relationship
you like
wise and sexually
know them.
until you've developed an actual like bond with them?
Yes.
I can see that. I googled aromantic and it said a romantic orientation, also called affectional orientation, indicates the sex or gender which a person is most likely to have a relationship or fall in love with. Wait, what? Aromantic people experience little to no romantic attraction. Okay, that's not me.
So
Romantic attraction is about wanting a committed relationship. Oh, so aromantic people don't want, like they're not interested in that. Okay,
yeah.
that's not me, but I am just fussy. I see that though. It's like, yeah, I can't be with someone who I don't know that well or I find boring. It's like
Yeah.
I'm just a dickhead.
Well,
I can't live.
that's not like a dickhead thing. That's just a fucking
It's
like
a
that's
preference. Can't help it.
no. Well, no, that's like legit human nature. Like,
Yeah,
who wants to hang out with somebody who's a prude? You know what I mean?
fair.
Like as rough as that sounds, like you don't
Yeah.
like. I'm not gonna actively seek out fucking being friends with somebody who's like, who like what Lord Savior Jesus Christ, like
That's fair.
fuck all gays, or like I don't like drinking, like I stay at home and I read my Bible. Like I'm not I'm not gonna be rude to that person publicly, but
Publicly, but in private.
in private I'm gonna be a dick, but public I'll be nice, but like I'm not gonna actively seek out a friendship with that person.
One thing that always not confuses me, but like I always like question how people do long distance relationships or online relationships. Like if I am in a relationship, I want to see that person a lot. Like I can't just do text based. I've not tried distance, but like I was talking to a girl and we didn't really see each other in real life. We just texted because she lived like across town, and it was horrible. I couldn't do it. I just ended it because I just lost all interest.
Well,
I don't know how people can do like even just an hour away. If someone lives an hour away from me, I'm not going to see them like barely at all until I can like drive. But I don't know how people can do that.
Like that shit's really fucking hard. Like especially from because I mean this is gonna sound like such a fucking douche move, but like I'm a very physical person. You know, not like sexually. I'm just like physically. Like I want you here. Like I want
you prefer the physical aspects rather than the.
I mean, like calling, texting, that shit's fine. Like I'll do that all day long. But if like somebody is
in
here,
my eyes, it's like there's only so much you can text and call about. Like in person, there's interaction. There's like you can get more involved with the person, but on text, it's limited. Like there's only so many times you can ask about how the day was.
Oh yeah, I mean that shit's true, you know, because like think about it, and I think that's how it is for like a lot of people, but like they don't want to say it because having somebody like genuinely like I having somebody by your side, or not even somebody, like even if it's like a dog, you know, like having that companionship is just like it's human nature. You know what I mean? Like humans aren't like scientifically humans aren't not made to, you know, be alone.
Like it's living pack mentality.
Yeah, like quite literally. It's made like I have partners, I have friends, I have a community that I take care of. They take care of me. Yeah, like family. That's like instinct, human nature kind of shit. And obviously, some people don't feel like that, Elo. But
I'm calling you out, huh? You better be listening.
But obviously, some people don't feel like that. And that's okay. But personally, I don't regret any online relationship that I've had because obviously, like you learn new things from everything, you know.
Yeah.
And I learned valuable lessons from that.
Yeah.
Like that was
as much as it's like there is the physical aspect, like, and it's just like a great experience for people to have.
Oh yeah, well, it's just like that was some of the hardest times of my life, but at the same time, like I learned so much. Like I feel like I wised up.
That's good. That's a good thing to take from it then, because then you can like learn and adapt and overcome certain things about your life.
I don't look back on it with regret.
No.
But I mean, it's just like I quickly figured out I don't have time. I don't have the fucking time. I don't have the fucking mental capacity to fucking hate somebody for over stupid shit. I'd rather like if you and me like just started like fuck you, which isn't gonna happen. But like if right now we were just like fuck you, suck my dick, I never want to fucking talk to you again. Like I might be a little pissed, but I'm not gonna go. I regret every single moment that he spent with me and shit like that. Because that's
over the 2 years. If we did fall out and we did be like, okay, I'm never speaking to you again, even though I probably hate you in that moment, it's like we've spent 2 years together. You can't regret 2 years because you've gone through so much in them 2 years. It's impossible.
Well, I mean, like it's quite literally like we've you've gone with me through my developmental years. Like I know I know like 12 and a half, 13 to 15. Like obviously that's not a lot, but
puberty.
I mean,
that's
like,
one word to sum it up.
Quite literally, like puberty. Like you were with me.
Remember when you used to talk like this and we used to get a call and you sounded like a 5-year-old?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. And like you like, I mean, quite a like. I don't want to say like older brother because obviously older brother has a bigger meaning, but we have a very much of a mutual respect for each other.
It's a brotherly bond that can't it can't be broken by anything because it's literal like family type thing.
Oh yeah, well I mean it's just like we work really well together in saying that like you hold the title of club owner or whatever or fucking owner or leader or whatever that shit is, but like I don't give a fuck, you know, like that's like you're my best friend, and obviously I can say that because you're my best friend, I'm your best friend, but like you're, I mean I can say I don't give a fuck about your title. I see you as king, the fucking dumbass. Other
Good
people
though.
might
Like
see
I
you as
like that though. Like
oh yeah.
initially, I feel like if people join the server and they see me at the top, that's like it's establishing like who they can go to if they need help. Like if they see, oh, the club staff, if I need help, I can go to them and stuff. But once you're in like the inner circle group, like
Yeah.
me, you, Gigi, Elusive, Elo, Lucas, Jay, Jen, like that group, like
Yeah.
you don't need to see people as higher up because we're friends. Like if you put a group of friends together, you don't decide, okay, you're the leader of this group, you make all the decisions. It's like we're just friends. Like we just have fun and get along. If like a huge issue comes up, like we have in recent times, that's when we step into our roles and deal with it because not everyone needs to be involved in situations like that when it comes to a Discord server. But if we're just hanging out in call, it shouldn't be like, oh well, King's talking, so he needs to get priority because he's the owner, or anything like that. It's just there's no need because we're just friends. Like doesn't need to move on from anything like that.
We have a mutual respect for each other, and I say we meaning like most of the people in the server, if not all. Like we all have like a very mutual respect for each other where nobody's over another person.
No.
Like obviously there's special cases.
Yeah, there's
like
special
some people
relationships like Elo and Jen. Elo and Jen have a really special bond, and like when it comes to a situation, they'll probably favor each other in the terms of like they want to make sure that person's safe and protected. But in like the terms of the whole server, no one's above anyone else. Like no one's gonna favor Pastel over fucking Astro or whatever because everyone's just friends and they all just want to get along. But if it's a serious situation, I can see people like taking sides and like making sure this person's safe or that. But no one's like different based on appearance, age, gender, any of that because it's just a group. Also, Gage, I had the idea that once we release this, I'd timestamp our different conversations. But I've clocked on that we're really good at just segueing in different conversations. We went from drugs to my love life to online relationships to the server and people being friends, and I'm really confused at how we got here, but I'm really enjoying it. But
I'm gonna join on my phone real quick. Hold on.
Okay. Did you just join?
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
I was gonna say because your voice went and then you just started talking.
Yeah, I'm here. I gotta go put up my dog, but I'll join it back in a minute. So, all right, let's keep talking.
Yeah, I was just playing Minecraft and then it kicked me off. But yeah, it's like no one in the server means more or anything. It's just a good place. I really can't remember how we got on there.
I mean, it's like I said, there's a mutual respect that everybody has for everybody, and respect can be earned and it can be taken away. That's a very obvious thing as well. But an important thing to realize with this group, or that at least that I've learned and shit like that, it's that like we're tight. Like we are. Like I say a lot of time, and I don't know if people have said this before me or after me. Your family isn't blood; it's choice. You pick who's in your family, or whatever.
Mhm.
And I feel like the people in this server have become a part of what I consider to be family. Because obviously, I've got some. I mean, I'm not gonna put that out on podcast for 24 people to listen to. But I mean, obviously, like everybody has their situations that they go through with family, and nobody likes that shit. Nobody likes talking about it. Nobody likes dealing with it. And say I had it worse. I definitely didn't. There's some people in my family that should have, been there, and they weren't. And like that's not what family does. So even though they're related to me by blood, they don't. That's not. This like I don't want them in my family. Like sure, that's my uncle, or sure that's my cousin, but that's not my family. That's
Yeah, it's like
blood.
the true family to you are the ones who are there when you need them the most. And if
fuck
they
yeah.
aren't, it's like when you have a friend and you're going through a really rough moment and you reach out to them and they don't help you, they're not a real friend. They're an acquaintance or just someone you know because they didn't actually help you when you needed them. And that's just the same with family, really. And if you feel like you class the server more as your family than your uncle or your cousin or whatever, then that's your choice, and no one can judge you for that because it's a matter of trust.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that I feel like a lot of people that I'm proud to say that this server's good at, because obviously there's people in my personal life that are fucking amazing to not only me, but they've accommodated my sisters and my brother, and for like yesterday, like during Thanksgiving, like that shit, like people obviously in my physical life and who are around here and in my town, like those people are godsends. I don't know what I'd do without them, because that could have been a really shitty holiday, and they turned it into a not so shitty holiday for them, and I can't thank people enough for that.
Yeah,
and obviously,
it's
like,
a very good standpoint to have, because family can be such a controversial word in some people's cases. But I feel like you've got a really good grasp on it, and you know what's what.
Well, I used to think for a long time that blood was everything. You know what I mean? Like I used to think like no matter what, like you stand up for your family no matter what they've done to you. And obviously, like I'll stand up for my little siblings and stuff like that. But they've been there. There's also like exceptions to that shit like that. But
You're cutting off, by the way. Are you outside?
yeah, I'm outside. Sorry, I'm walking back towards my house. But yeah, like I'd fucking die for those kids, because they've been there, and that's a prime example of like blood family. You know what I mean? Like those kids right there, like they are my blood and they're my family. Now, obviously, there's people in my physical life and then people in the server I'd fucking do the exact same for. I'd fucking kill, I'd beat ass, I'd do whatever, and I don't say that shit lightly.
Yeah.
And I feel like a good thing to look at as it's not just the people that you care about that's like in your family, it's the people who care about you.
Yeah, it's a mutual thing. It's not a one-way thing.
Oh yeah, well I learned with like recent situations, like I had no idea like how much a certain man like was willing to be there for me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had no idea how much that shit was like out, and he told me yesterday, which was Thanksgiving, obviously. He said like, kid, like, and it startled me a little bit, but he was like, kid, you got to know, like I love you, like like, and that shit, like, that hits hard.
It means a lot.
It does mean a lot, especially coming from that man, because he isn't a very, like, I mean, sure, like, he goofs around and shit like that, but he's not a very, like, affectionate guy. But he's like he's somebody who welcomed this fucking stoner of a fucking, like, street fighting, like, fucking delinquent, juvenile delinquent, and his siblings who could have gone the exact same way. He, like, opened his arms and welcomed them into his family. And obviously that's, like, that'll make you realize that that's family.
It's very special. It's very, like, it means an extreme amount more than the person actually probably realizes.
Oh, fuck it. Because, like, that's not everybody can do that, like, that's something that I'd have a hard time doing.
Oh yeah, Sam. It's
like,
yeah.
Not everybody can do that, and I guess it comes with age too. But, like, that's a hard thing to do and admit and say to someone like that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of heart.
Yeah, definitely not easy.
No, definitely not. Well, that was a very wholesome conversation there. I don't know. I can't remember how we got into it. I'll have to listen back. But that was very wholesome. That was very good. But one thing we did want to talk about is the RP.
We did, yeah.
And to put it bluntly, I am so fucking excited.
Oh yeah, I'm pumped.
What are you eating?
Cake.
Stuff in your face.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, once, because I was like, it was Jay, wasn't it? No, it was you who originally said you missed the Royals RP. And then it was Jay who said he'd be really down to start again.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I was kind of sketched because I was like, oh, starting again. It's like people are just going to get sick of it and tell us to fuck off. And then I think Lucas heard it and he was down. And Jen heard it and she was down. And I think that was it. But we asked and people were down. And once that was that, I was like, okay, we gotta actually make this like the Royals was, like how good that one was, because that one was insane, and we need to go back to that because it was class.
Well, we did that. The way we did that, I mean, it's just, I feel like we got so lucky with that story.
Oh, we did
at that time, because at that time, like, RP, especially on Havoc, like, it was at its peak.
Oh yeah, it was like whenever you'd log onto the server, someone was in the chat spamming like any RP starting or RP at Alex or Hilltop or Kingdom or something. Like there was always one going down, no matter what time of day, no matter where you were in the world, there was always at least one.
Yeah, like, that was, so we got thankful there, and then obviously I met you through public RPs and stuff like that, and then you met Elo and then Jen and Gigi and all of them. That all came through Havoc. Like, nobody met anybody through, we all met through Minecraft, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Met you apart from Elusive. Elusive was handed by Gigi.
Except for Elusive, yeah.
But Pastel we met through Jay, who I met through Minecraft. Lucas we met on the Alexandria RP. I mean, Dawn we met through Lucas, but but the reason Lucas knew Dawn was because we knew Love through Minecraft, I think. Because Love was part of Camelot. I wasn't part of that when Love was in. But
I mean, obviously, like, but yeah, That was
But
such
yeah, it was so
that-
fun.
Oh yeah, we got so lucky with the circumstances that we had, because obviously we had people who were invested and that who loved it,
Hmm.
and we had people who were happy to contribute. And not saying that people still aren't like that. I just got a Snapchat and it played through my AirPods out. But not saying that people aren't like that, because some people are.
Yeah.
But like, what was that, like a year ago?
It was the Royals group ended November 13th.
So
we've passed that now. It was like a few weeks, like a week. Yeah, a little bit over a year ago. But it wasn't even just the RP that was fun. It was the late night calls with me and you, like planning stuff and just laughing about like different storylines and going ahead with it. And then all the planning that went into the events, and then seeing everyone's reaction to the events, and like whether it was
favorite
like
characters
when Elodie died, and
Yeah.
literally everyone unmuted at the same time, and everyone was crying because we did the death, and Kingsley and Elodie had a little interaction because she just saved his life, and I think Elo wanted to play a song, and she linked me it, and I put it on the bot, and as it happened, I think everyone just simultaneously just teared up, and everyone on mute and started talking about it, and it was like those reactions were what kept everyone going, really. And like when Gage and Amaret got married, and everyone was like so happy and like excited for it, and then when the same RP Amaret died, the emotions just dropped, and everyone was like, what? And like half of the deaths, like no one saw coming, and like the villains were intriguing, and the storyline like kept you going. As much as the repetition of like get safe, villain comes, fight villain, good guys win. As much as that plot line is repetitive, I feel like the actual involvement in the RP scenarios kept it exciting, even though the trend was there.
We also we did a really good job of putting forth that even though the good guys win overall, like there was still loss.
There's still loss. Like you might have won in the long run, but look at what you lost on the way.
One thing that I was really proud that we threw together, or not even we, you and Tay, who is thankfully like a part of what we are recreating now.
Mm-hmm.
He was Mark's death, I think was his name, and that was just that was so emotionally. It was
traumatizing because he had to pick someone to kill, and he chose Mark because everyone thought Mark was dead, and everyone hated the character.
Yeah,
not the actual guy who played him. Even though the guy who played him was a bit strange.
The guy was
He's gone now.
class. I mean, he was class though.
Yeah, he was pretty good, but I think he's a soldier now, by the way.
Damn.
But oh, one sec, someone's ringing me.
We're filming a podcast.
Oh, it was Eric. We'll talk about him in a second. Let me just message him saying, 1 sec, we
filming a podcast.
Oh, he said today's Friday. He wants to know if the RP is starting.
Oh fuck no.
We ain't starting tonight. I'll ring you soon. But yeah, it was like so traumatizing, but it kept everyone hooked, and like the development that came from it. But speaking of Eric, I know he's a very controversial character, and there's people who have every right to not like him. Like, I'm not going to dispute that. He's done some fucked stuff in the past, and I don't blame anyone for not liking him. But obviously, we are in touch with him, and we're friends with him, and we've moved on. And one thing that did voice acting and stuff now, which I'm not surprised at all.
We owe a lot of what that was to him.
He was a very big part of it. But
I'd over half.
Yeah. He was a huge part. I like when I said we would sit up and like would join in a lot.
He was
and
always there.
Help us with that.
He was
It
there more
was-
than I was.
That might actually be true.
He was up till 3 or 4 in the morning writing.
It was me and him would write a lot. We had like a chat. I really wish I had the old Royal server. I deleted it out of frustration and like upset, but I really wish I kept it. But yeah. Once I got back in touch with him, and once we like called and stuff, and we were like friends again, I knew as soon as we had another RP, I really wanted him involved because he was just so good at it, and I knew it'd be hard to convince people and to actually want him in. But once I'd spoke to the people who needed to be spoken to about it, I feel like they know like he'd be good for it. I don't think they want to be involved with his character like mainly. Like I feel like they'll ignore his character, but I feel like they'll see that his storylines and stuff are fun. And the start we've got planned is great, I think. Like that call that we had and the Google Doc that we've got, I think it's great.
We don't need to talk about the Google Doc.
No, we don't need to talk about the Google Doc, but the new features that we're adding in, don't reveal too much, but
No, I'm not.
The new additions we've added, and I'm saying rules in quotations because they're not exactly rules, they're just guidelines, really. Some of them are rules, and if any of you break them, we'll break your face. Lucas. But yeah, I think it'll be just a lot more fun and different, and people can explore their personal stories more with it. Like,
well, I mean,
I was talking to Jen the other day, and because Jen's gonna play Leah, but obviously Leah's a younger character. I think she's gonna play when she's 11. Yeah. And then I gave her a little hint. I'll give everyone else a hint in this podcast. The world's a lot more dangerous, and there's a lot more to fear in this one, rather than just the classic Walking Dead. So there's a lot more fear and survival aspects, and I feel like that's where a lot of new RP scenarios could come from. And I think it'll be very fun to see people explore them and the new worlds that we've kind of like created.
It's just a big part of our RPs was always character development.
It's the most fun part, I think.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like personally for me, like I can use as an example, Gage started out as a 16-year-old fuckboy, you know, and then he ended up being like a 25-year-old something, like shooter, right-hand man, not even right-hand man, just like fucking homie, you know.
Yeah, I remember the first time my character of Kingsley met the character of Gage. He was a 16-year-old, like, Californian type kid who was based, who was kind of based closely to Carl, and then he kind of grew up to be, like a more fleshed out man. Really, it was like he'd gone through a lot of development to get in there, but. The same can go for Kingsley. The only reason Kingsley's got the name Kingsley is because my in-game name was King, and I logged onto the server because I was bored and I hadn't been on in fucking 3 years, and I wanted to get involved in RP. I literally spawned in Alex because that's where I last logged in, and some guy came up to me and was like, "What's your name? Why are you here?" And I looked at my name and I was like, name. Kingsley, yeah, that's my name. And I just went with it. And that's literally how I started. And then I met a few people and I just kind of fit myself in. And then I developed his character. And then he met Gage. And then he became the leader of Alexandria. And then he met all these people. And then we branched off and we did our own storylines. And it just went from there through just standard public RP character development. And we ended in such a great place. It was insane how much we did. And I'm hoping we can do that again. Because I don't want to put too much planning in because that just becomes boring. but I don't want to just leave it fully up to public RP type. What's it called? Improv, because it just ruins it.
I mean, for sure. You gotta look at. I mean, there's always the fact that. I mean, at some point. Well, I remember a big part of what we were scared of while recreating this RP was that would people even want to do The Walking Dead anymore?
I know.
Like that was a big thing because like we felt like we've explored every possible avenue, but then
we've done it so much.
But then like talking to Jay and Eric.
Oh yeah, shout out Jay, our new co-writer. Shout out Jay.
Well, just like sitting down and then talking, we found so many more things that we close to exploring.
Yeah, it was like we sat and we were in this call, and we'd rang and we were just kind of messing around at first, and then once we started actually spitballing ideas, we just branched off each other's until we got an actual end thing, and then once we thought we had an end thing, we branched off it again, and Jay would say something, and then Eric would be like, "Oh, I like that. How about this?" And then Gage would be like, "Yo, that's sick. What about this?" And then we came up with like all this good stuff that we can't really wait for because it just sounds so fun.
Well, I mean, one thing that we've always been good at is, I mean, obviously, especially you, like playing with things and pushing people outside of what is normally thought of as RP. Because as much as we use RP is just like a title. But the fact of reality is, like, we are telling a story, you know.
Yeah, it's RP is like the general term, but I think what more relates to it is just acting. Like it takes a lot to put yourself in the headspace of the character, and like I'll use Lucas for example, just cause he hasn't been mentioned that much, so I'll use Lucas. But I imagine it takes a lot for Lucas to think of his character and put himself in the headspace of the character and act out what he thinks would be his actions. And it must, like, it takes a lot. It's not just like playing this role of I'm the leader of the group, I tell you what to do. It's developing the character's feelings and the character's, like, his personality and his morals and all that stuff. It's like it's a lot more than just role playing. It's actually acting. It's
I mean, having experienced with voice acting and acting in general, and whether that's theater or on YouTube or just random shit. But I mean, that's just like for some people, it's obviously going to come natural. Like some people are just naturally born creative, and then they can snap into it like that. But I mean, you got to realize like that is such a hard thing to put yourself, especially with The Walking Dead. Obviously, there's other genres that are more like reliable and realistic, but like with The Walking Dead, you have to put yourself inside of a character that is adapting to a world where they don't know if they're going to wake up in the morning. Yes,
it's ended.
Yeah,
and I think what makes it even more special is with a movie role, you're given the character, and it's harder to get yourself into that character because you've been given it yourself. And I think what we do is a lot more special because we're making the characters. We're coming up with them from scratch. We're not just given a character and becoming them. It's making them from scratch and making their personalities from scratch and doing everything from your own head. Like, I'm going to use Clancy as an example because they just posted in the chat. They created Bo from scratch, and they made Bo's personality from scratch and his attributes, even down to like their birthdays and their religions and their fucking star signs, for God's sake. I know people who go in that much. I don't personally, because I don't feel the need to do star signs and stuff. And I like doing character development to give him more attributes. But like the people who go in that much depth are insane because they're like they've put that much effort into it, and it's nothing but respectable. All right, hello. Sorry about the. It's not really a sudden cut off, but there is a cut off in the audio at the end there. The audio from Craig has had some technical difficulties, and there's nothing I can do to fix it. So the point that you last heard about characters being unique and stuff and how respectable that is, that's where I'm gonna cut it off. We didn't really talk about much more. It was only like 10 minutes more where we discuss different types of RP that people do in the RP, so like the family RPs that they do and how people handle different situations. We spoke about that a bit, but that's about it. So I'm literally just here to finish it up and say thank you for listening if you have come this far. And if you don't hear this, fuck you. But yeah, that's all you pretty much missed at the end, and this is just a final ending per se. So yeah, thank you very much. Sorry for the technical difficulties, that will be fixed for next time. But until then, thank you very much.